stuff.
Okay, decision time. So
I remember that. Polaroid.
You know the telephone you have to turn it down like this?
That's my mother.
My Fair Lady, coming up.
Supported by 3 technical people, 2 lighting people, a dance choreographer, costume designer, and these 3 exciting people. Our flautist from the Reuven Academy of Music is Jonathan White. He has been with us for 10 years, but his real claim to fame is that for 1,200 performances before he made Aliyah, he was the senior percussionist of the legendary Irish musical Riverdance. Someone said, you aren't supposed to be over there by the piano, it's not your job. And the answer is not this time around, because this time, directing our music is a young lady who has now enjoyed immensely for the last 2 months. She too from the Reuven Academy of Music. Would you welcome Naama, Tamir. Our show is in 2 acts with a 10-minute intermission. Our cast asks the following 3 requests. 1, please, no food and beverages in the room. Number 2, if you are some reason or other.
We have always been a basic aspect of interpersonal relationships. The act of giving manifests itself in all the world's great religions. It is ideal that it is to be emulated, admired, and saluted.
In Judaism, the act of chesed, as an act of giving, is a pillar of our beliefs and may be done in several ways, whether it is done by assisting the poor, aged, or needy, or simply making life more bearable for one's fellow man. Judaism abounds with methods by which the act of chesed, the act of giving, of oneself to another may be manifested. The Rambam, Maimonides, lists many forms of chesed which we may perform. Highest on the list is assisting one in establishing or re-establishing oneself in society by assisting to create the means and tools in which to provide for oneself and those of the family unit. That act of chesed provides self-esteem and standing within a community. It revives the recipient and reintroduces him or her back into the mainstream. That form of chesed may be done with educationally challenged, the indigent, or in our case tonight to one Eliza Doolittle, a poor Cockney girl who lived off of the few tuppence she received from selling flowers. Granted, our story doesn't exactly start out as an act of charity, but in the end, as Chazal, our sages teach us, mitov shalal lishma, bal lishma, an unintended act of good can yield great results. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our little Rachmaninoff case, Eliza Doolittle, and the entire cast of My Fair Lady. Enjoy the show.
Would you like to buy some flowers? Gorgeous flowers, sir. With topping. Topping. You, sir.
Two bunches of violets straight in the mud. Who don't you look where you're going? There's a taxi, Bradley, and do you want me to catch the pneumonia? I'm sorry, Mother. I'll get a taxi right away. I'm sorry. Oh, he's your son, is he? Well, if his daddy knew he wanted the mother should, you wouldn't let him spoil poor girl's flowers and run away without paying.
Go about your business, my girl.
Two bunches of violets straight in the mud.
Guess you ain't having no dinner tonight, eh?
Leave her alone, you fool.
Taxi!
I say, Captain, buy a flower for you.
I'm sorry, I happen to be changed.
Oh, to change out for brownie.
I really have to... Stop. Here, 3 happens. That's all I need to do. Hey, Jim, be careful. Better give him a flower for it, because the bloke might let her a private policeman?
No, what did you take down the road for? I don't know whether you took me down right. Let me just see what you're out about, mate. What's that? That ain't proper writing, I can't read that.
I can. I say, Captain, buy a flower off a poor girl.
It's because I called him Captain. I don't know that dog. It's an Andy that would have made it, sir.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Really, sir, you are a detective. You need not begin protecting me against molestation by young women until I ask you to. Anybody could see the girl meant no harm.
He ain't no stuff. He's a gentleman. Look at his little shoes.
And how are all your people down at Selby?
You don't do more if you come to stuff.
Never mind, they did. And you, how do you come to be so far east? You're born in Listen Grove.
What Tom is there in my leaving on the ground? He wasn't before a pig, I tell you. You know we have to take forward to some fish.
Never you laugh, but stop that noise. Come, he can't touch you. You go right to live where you please.
Oh, what a good girl I am.
You know where I come from? Hospital. Mining. You know everything you do.
Come on, tell me where I come from.
Oh, frankly, no one gives a damn.
Well, we'll tell where he comes from if you want to go fortune time.
Cheltenham, Harrow, Cambridge, and India. Quite right.
Oh, yeah, exactly the blooming busybody that he is.
May I ask, sir, do you do this sort of thing for a living on the music hall? Oh, I have thought of that. Perhaps I shall someday.
Hey, now, gentlemen, he's not interfering with the program.
How do you do it, if I may ask? Simple phonetics, the science of speech. It's my profession, also my hobby. Anyone can spot an Irishman or Yorkshireman by his road. I can place a man within 6 miles. I can place a man within 3 miles in London. Sometimes within 2 streets.
Oh, to be ashamed of himself.
But it's very liberty.
Oh, no. Let him mind his own business and leave a poor girl.
Woman, cease this detestable boo-hooing, or I'll seek the shelter of some other place of worship.
Oh, Tamir, I don't say you.
Who utters such depressing and disgusting sounds has no right to live anywhere. No right to live. Remember that you're a human being with a soul and the divine gift of articulate speech. That your language is the language of Milton and Shakespeare and the Bible. Don't sit there crooning like a bilious pigeon. Look at her. A prisoner of the gospel. Condemned by every syllable she utters. By rights she should be taken out and hung. For the cold-blooded murder of the English tongue. Oh, heavens, what a sound. This is what the British population calls an elementary education. Oh, Papa, I think you picked the poor example. Have I? Here the town is schools where dropping ages everywhere speaking English any way they like. You, sir, did you go to school? Doesn't matter, you're a fool. No one talks in pain instead of type. Here an Irishman or worse. Here a Yorkshireman gives birth. I'd rather hear a flyer singing flat. Chickens cackling in a barn just like this one. I ask you, what sort of sound is that? It's now and gone that keep her in her place. Not a wretched, low, dirty place. Why can't the English teach you how to speak? This verbal class distinction by now should be a D. If you spoke as she does, sir, instead of the way you do, why you might bloody flowers. I beg your pardon. An Englishman's way of speech absolutely classifies him. The moment he talks, he makes another Englishman despise him. One common language of a people never get. So why can't the English learn to set good examples to those whose English is horrid to your ears? The Scotch and the Irish leave you close to tears. In some places, English completely disappears. In America, they haven't used it for years. Why can't the English teach you how to speak? Norwegian speak Norwegian, Greeks are talking Greek. In France, every Frenchman knows his letters relate to jazz. The French don't care what they say, actually, so long as they pronounce it properly. Arabians speak Arabian with the speed of summer lightning. Israelis learn it backwards, which is absolutely frightening. Speak proper English, you're regarded as a fool. Why can't the English? Why can't the English learn to speak? See this girl, the one with the curbstone English, matter to the end of the day. Well, still, in 6 months, I could pass her off as a duchess at an empty ball. I could even get her a place as a ladies' maid or shop assistant, which requires better English.
Anyway, what did that you say?
Yes, you squashed cabbage leaf. You disgrace to the noble architecture of these columns. You incarnate insult to the English language. I could pass you off as the Queen of Sheba. Attack there!
Oh, you don't believe that, Captain.
Attack there! Oh, well, anything's possible. I myself am a student of Indian dialects. Are you? You know Colonel Pickering of spoken Sanskrit? I am Colonel Pickering. Who are you? Henry Higgins of the Higgins Universal Alphabet. I came from India to meet you. I was going to India to meet you. Pickering! Where are you staying? At the Carlton. No, not. You're staying at 27A Wimpole Street. Come with me to Wahala. Right you are.
I said, Captain, got your flag off of Paul Gillen, short in me lodging.
Liar! Then you could change half a crowd.
You ought to be stuck with nails you walk take down a blooming basket for 6 pence.
Indian dialects have always fascinated me. I myself have records of over 50. How do you know? But you know there are over 200. Fine, George. Where's the London? Hyde Park to walk through on a fine spring night. The whole Roni city of London to roam about in cellar blooming flowers. I'll give her all that and then I disappears to let her enjoy it on her own for a while. And if that ain't worth half a crown down here, I'll take off my belt and give her what for.
You got a good art house, but if you want that half a crown from Liza, you better have a good story to go with it.
Worry not, my boy, worry not. Eliza! Not a surprise!
Not a brass bobbin.
Look here, Eliza, you would have the heart to send your old man down to your beloved stepmother without a bit of liquid protection, now would you?
Stepmother. Ha! Stepmother indeed.
Well, I'm ready to marry her. It's me that suffers fire. I'm a slave to the woman, Eliza, just because I ain't going to be a lawful husband. Come on, Eliza, slip me down half a crown to go home, mate.
I'd a bit of luck myself myself here.
George, 3 glorious years.
Don't you come around to count on half a crown from my...
Thank you again, Eliza. You are indeed a noble daughter. You see, boys, I tell you not to go out. It's just a little bit of faith, a little bit of hope, and a little bit of luck. The Lord of Hope came standing on the fire. The Pope came standing on the fire. Someone else is a drink and one. After all, that's not your fault. Snatch you up and snatch back. Don't let you wear on land or sea or boat. When he comes around, you come. Here he comes. her before you.
This is the young woman, sir.
This is the girl I jotted down last night. She's no use to me. I've all the records I want of the Listen Grove lingo, and I won't waste another cylinder on it. Be off with you. I don't want you.
Oh, don't be so saucy. You won't know what I come for yet. Just tell him I'll come in a taxi.
Nonsense, Gil. Did you think a gentleman like Mr. Higgins passed as you came in?
Oh, we are proud. Well, he ain't got to give lessons, not him. I didn't say it. Well, did he come here to ask any compliment? Is my money that good enough? We could go elsewhere.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for you. Now you know, don't you? I'm come to have lessons, I am. And to pay for them too, make no mistake.
Well, what do you expect me to say?
Well, if you was any sort of gentleman, you might have to sit down, I think. Don't want to tell you, I'm bringing you business.
Figurines, we have this baggage to sit down, or shall we throw her out the window?
No, what makes you call the bandage on a book fella very likely?
What is it you want, my girl?
I want to be a lady. It's a flower shop. Instead of selling flowers at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. They won't take me unless I can talk more genteel. Well, you said you could teach me, here I am, not asking any favours. You treat me as if I was dirt. Oh no, well that's of course as well as you was ready to pay.
How much?
Oh, now you're talking. I knew you'd come off it when you saw a chance of getting bigger back at you chucked to me last night. You let it drop it out of you.
Sit down.
Well, if you're going to make a compliment out of it.
Sit down.
Sit down, Gil. Do as you're told.
What is your name?
Eliza Doolittle.
Won't you sit down, Miss Doolittle?
Oh, very nice to be thank you.
How much do you propose to pay me for the lessons?
Oh, I know what's right. Lady friend of mine gets French lessons from a real French gentleman. Saves me pence an hour. No, you wouldn't have the face to ask me the same for teaching me my own language as you would for French. No, I won't give more than a shilling. Take it or leave it.
Figurine, if you consider a shilling not as an ordinary shilling, but as a percentage of this girl's income, well, it's pretty equivalent to 60 or 70 pounds to a millionaire. By George, it's the greatest offer I've ever had.
Oh, ain't got 60 pounds? I never said nothing about 60 pounds. Who don't want 60 pounds? I don't know about 60 pounds.
Hold your tongue.
Oh, I ain't got 60 pounds.
Why, you silly Gil? Sit down. I'm going to touch your money.
Somebody's going to touch you with a broomstick if you don't stop sniveling.
One would think you was me father.
I'll be worse than two fathers to you if I decide to teach you. Here.
What's this for?
Wipe your eyes. Wipe any part of your face that feels moist. Remember, that's your handkerchief and that's your sleeve. Don't you use one for the other if you wish to become a lady in a shop.
Higgins, I'm interested. What about your boast that you could pass off as a duchess at Embassy Ball? I'll say you're the greatest teacher alive if you can make that good. I'll bet you all the expenses of the experiment you can't do it. And I'll even pay for the lesson.
Oh, thank you. You're a real good captain.
Almost irresistible. She's so deliciously low, so horribly dirty.
Oh, no, not. What's that? It's space before I come on, dude.
I'll take it. I'll make a queen of this drag hotel, doesn't it? I'll start right now. Listen, today, take away and clean her, Mrs. Spears. Sandpaper won't go off any other way. There's a good fire in the kitchen. Go pick up all afternoons and burn them. Bring up and order a new one. Wrap up in brown paper till they arrive.
What? You don't tell me not to, but that seems I'm a good girl, I am.
Well, I'm not a slumbery here, young woman. You need to learn how to be a better lady. Take away, Mrs. Spears. She gives you any trouble?
Oh, I'm going to please her, Will. I've got no place to put her.
Put her in the dustbin.
Oh, Higgins, be reasonable.
You must be reasonable, Mr. Higgins. Really, you must. You can't walk all over everybody like this.
I walk over everybody, my dear Mrs. Spears, my dear Pickering. I don't have the slightest intention of walking over anybody. I simply propose that we help this poor girl. I do not make myself completely clear because I do not want to hurt her delicacy. Or yours.
But you can't just take up a girl like that as if you were picking up a pebble on the beach.
Why not?
Why not? But you don't know anything about her. What about her parents? She may be married.
Gone.
There, as the girl very properly says. God.
Oh, marry my...
By George, Eliza, the streets will be strewn with the bodies of men shooting themselves for your sake before I'm done with you.
You're going away. You're for stopping you. No one will bomb his teaching
Indeed, madam, I very well Mr. Spears. You needn't order her new clothes. Throw her out.
Stop! Mr. Higgins, I won't allow it. Go home to your parents, girl.
I ain't got no parents.
There, she ain't got no parents. Don't you see that that doesn't belong to anybody and she's no use to anybody but me?
But what's to become of her? If she became anything, so that she'd be vegetable.
Higgins? Does it occur to you that the girl has some feelings?
No, not any feelings that we need to worry about, have you, Eliza?
Mr. Higgins, I must know on what terms the girl is to be here. What's to become of her when you finish your teaching? You must look ahead a little, sir.
What's to become of her if I leave her in the gutter? Answer me that, Mrs. Pierce.
That's her business, not yours, Mr. Higgins.
Well, what I've done with her, we can throw her back in the gutter again, so that it will be her own business again, so that's all right.
You now fear Larson here. You don't care for nothing with yourself. Look at the knack of this, and I'm leaving.
Eliza, have a chocolate.
I don't know what might be in it. I can just guilty jump for the likes of you.
Such a good face, Eliza. I eat one half, and you'll have the other. We'll have boxes of them, barrels of them, every day. You shall live off of them, huh?
What's of eating it? That's a lazy lot taken out of your mouth.
Think of it, Eliza. Think of the chocolates, and taxis, and gold, and diamonds.
What do I know gold and no diamonds? I'm a good girl, I am.
Excuse me, Higgins, but I really must interfere. Mrs. Pierce is quite right. If this girl is to put herself in your hands for 6 months, an experiment in teaching, she must understand thoroughly what she's doing.
Eliza, for the next 6 months, you're to live here learning how to speak beautifully, like a lady in a florist shop. If you're good and do whatever you're told, you'll have a proper place to sleep in, lots of food to eat, and lots of money to buy chocolates and ride in taxis. If you're naughty and idle, you'll sleep in the back kitchen among the black people and be walloped by Mrs. Pierce with a broomstick. At the end of 6 months, you'll be taken to Buckingham Palace in a carriage beautifully dressed. If the king finds out you're not a lady, you will be taken by the police to the Tower of London, where your head will be cut off as a warning sign to other presumptuous flower girls. If you're not found out, you will have a present of 7 and 6 to start out life with as a lady in a shop. If you refuse this offer, you'll be the most ungrateful, wicked girl there ever was, and the angels will weep for you. Could I put it more fairly or plainly, Pickering? Does it satisfy you, Mrs. Pierce?
How about me, Eliza?
That's right, Mrs. Pierce. Bundle her off to the bathroom.
You're a great bully, you are. I'm a good girl, yeah? I'll never come up here. Look at me for the book.
In 6 months and 3 months, if she has a good ear and a quick tongue, I'll pass her off as anything and take her anywhere. I'll make a queen of that barbarous wretch.
Forgive the bluntness, Higgins, but if I'm to be in this business, I shall feel responsible for the girl. I hope it's clearly understood that no advantage is to be taken of her position.
What? That thing? Sacred, I assure you.
Come, Higgins, you know what I mean. This is no trifling matter. Are you a man of good character where women are concerned?
Pickering, have you ever met a man of good character where women are concerned?
Very frequently.
Well, I haven't. I find that the moment I let a lady become friends with me, she becomes jealous, exacting, suspicious, and a damn nuisance. I find that the moment I let myself become friends with a lady, I become selfish and tyrannical. So here I am, a confirmed old bachelor, and likely to remain so to the end of my days. After all, Pickering, I'm an ordinary man who desires nothing more than just the ordinary chance to live exactly as he likes. So precisely what you want. Average man of mine, Joe, who likes to live his life free of strife, doing whatever he thinks is best for him. Just an ordinary man. But there's a woman in your life, and you're already in the room. So redecorate your home from the cellar to the dome, take it under the enthralling fun of overhauling you. Oh, there's a woman in your life, and you are up against the wall. Make a plan and you will find she has something else in mind, and so rather than hiding into something else that neither likes at all. I'm a very gentle man. Even-tempered and good-natured, whom you never hear complain, who has the spirit of human kindness by the court in everything. A patient man of mine down to my fingertips. The sort who never could, ever would, let an insulting remark escape his lips. Just a very gentle man. But let a woman in your life, and you are up against the wall. Make a plan in your mind. She has something else in mind. It's rather than trying something else in life like so. You are a man of grace and polish who never spoke above the hush. Now all at once you are using language that would make a sailor blush. Unless a woman in your life, unless a woman in your life, unless a woman in your life. I shall never let a woman in my life.
Doolittle! You again? I told you I ain't running no charity bazaar. Now out of here, Doolittle!
Not their own thing.
All right, I'm coming. Don't I know you from somewhere? There. Thanks for the hospitality, Georgie. You're standing down.
I know. Just send me down to Buckingham Palace.
No, I'm not sure where he's sitting, but there's a guy here named Hagar. I think he's about to be a father in about a month. Send the bill to him.
Oh, you can pay the air bills now, Alfie. Phone into a tub of butter, yeah?
What sort of a button?
Your doctor, Eliza. Oh, you're a lucky man, Alfie Doolittle.
What are you talking about? We're not Eliza.
Well, your own father. Her own father, and he don't know. Your doctor, Eliza. She's moved in with the swell. Left here about 3 days ago, smart paint, and anything that's it. And then I get a message from her this morning. She wants a thing sent over to a 27A Wimpole Street. Here of Professor Higgins. And what things does she want? She wants a Chinese fan, and she wants a bird cage. But she says, don't bother sending over any clothes.
Wait a minute. Jumping Jiminy Christmas! I knew she had the careers in front of her! Harry, we're in for a boost on it! And sun is shining on Alfred P. Doolittle! A man was made to help support his children. This is the right and proper thing to do. That's the way to do properly, of course. Is that all, Mrs. Pierce?
Yes, sir. No.
Pay the bills and say no to the invitations.
There's another letter from that American millionaire, Everly Wallingford. He still wants you to lecture for his Norman formally.
Throw it away.
The third letter he's written you, sir. You should at least answer it.
Oh, all right, I'll get to it. Leave it on the desk.
If you please, sir. But there's a dustman downstairs, one Alfred Doolittle. He says, that is, he claims that you have his daughter here.
I say, send the blackguard out. He may not be a blackguard. whether he is or not, I'm afraid we shall have some trouble with him.
Oh, no, I think not. If there's any trouble to be had, he shall have it with me, not I with him.
Doolittle, sir.
Yeah. Morning, Governor. I'll come about a very serious matter I am, Governor.
What in house, Lord Mother Welsh? What do you want, Doolittle?
I want me daughter, that's what I want to say.
Of course you do. You're her father, aren't you? I'm glad to see you still have some sort of family feeling left. Take her away here. She's upstairs. Take her away at once.
What?
You don't expect me to give your daughter here for you, do you?
No, look here, Governor. Is this reasonable? Is it parity to take advantage of a man like this? The girl belongs to me. You got her. Where do I come in?
How dare you come here and attempt to blackmail me?
Now don't take a man off like that,
The police
Governor.
shall take you off. This is a plan. The plot will stop money by threats. I shall telephone the police.
If I ask you for a brass fine, I put it to this gentleman sitting right over here. Have I said a single word about money?
What else did you come here for?
Well, what would a man call me here for? The human, Governor.
How could you send her here on purpose?
So help me, Governor, I never did.
Then how did you do here?
I'll tell you, Governor, if you'll only let me get a word in. I'm wanting to tell you. I'm waiting to tell you. I'm willing to tell you.
Figuring this chap has an unusual gift of rhetoric. Observe the rhythm of his native woodnote's wild. I'm willing to tell you, I'm wanting to tell you, I'm waiting to tell you. That's the Welsh strain in him. How did you know Eliza was here if you didn't send her?
She sent back for her luggage and I had to hear about it. She said she didn't want no clothes. What was I to think of that, Governor? I ask you as a parent. What was I to think of that?
So you came to rescue her from worse than death.
Just so, Governor. That's right.
Mrs. Pierce, this is Eliza's father. Give her to him.
Now, wait a minute, Governor. Wait a minute. You and me is men of the world, ain't we?
Oh, men of the world, are we? Better go, Mrs. Pierce.
My things are deep.
Listen, Governor. I've taken a sort of fancy to you. And if you want the girl, I'm not so sure if I'm set on her back home again. But what I might be open to is an arrangement of sorts. All I ask for are my rights as a father. And you're the last man alive to expect me to let her go for nothing. For I can see that you are one of the straight sort. So, what's it more important to you? And what's it lies in a bed?
I think you ought to know, Doolittle, that Mr. Higgins' intentions are entirely honorable.
Well, of course they are, Governor. I thought there wasn't an Ascot 50.
You do mean to say that you're willing to sell your daughter for £50? Have you no morals, man?
No? Can't afford it, Governor. Neither can you if you was as poor as me. I used to live in a lake. Think about that one, folks. Mind you, I don't mean any harm, but look, if Eliza's going to get a bit out of this, then why not me too, eh? I mean, what am I? I ask you, and you three, and all of you brothers sitting over here who pay for this bloody show, what am I? I am one of the undeserving poor. That's what I am. Now think what that means to a man. It means that he's up against middle class morality for all the time. If there's something going, and I'll put in for a bit of it, it's always the same old story. You're undeserving, so you can't have it. But my name is as great as the most deserving widow who's ever got money from party than he does, but I drinks a hell of a lot more. I'm playing it straight with you. I ain't pretending to be deserving. I'm undeserving, and I'm made to go on being undeserving. I like it, and that's the truth. But when you take advantage of a man's nature to do about the price of his own daughter when he brought up, fed, and clothed by the sweat of his own brow till she's grown big enough to be interested in you two gentlemen, is £5 unreasonable? I'll put it to you, and I'll leave it to you.
Pickering, if we need this man in hand for 3 months, he could choose between a popular pulpit in Wales and a seat in the cabinet. I suppose we ought to give him a £5.
He'll make bad use of it, I'm afraid.
Not me, Governor, so help me out what? Just one good spray for me and the missus. Giving enjoyment to ourselves, employment to others, and satisfaction to you two buggers knowing it ain't been thrown away. You couldn't spend it better.
This is irresistible. Let's give him 10.
No. No. £10 is a lot of money. The missus wouldn't have the heart to spend £10. Pretty sure it makes a man feel prudent like, and it's good for his happiness. No. You give me what I asked for, Governor, not a penny less, not a penny more.
I'd rather draw the line at encouraging this sort of immorality. Doolittle, why don't you marry that Mrs. Gore? After all, the marriage isn't so frightening. You married Eliza's mother.
Who told you that, Governor?
Well, nobody told me, but I concluded now.
Pickering, if we listen to this man another minute, we shall have no convictions left. £5, I think you said?
Yes. Thank you, Governor. Thank you.
My friend!
Big problem, miss.
I went all day and sat it down with one more time.
Blimey! It's Eliza! Well, never thought she came up so good. She does give me credit, don't she, Governor?
Yeah, what you doing here?
You hold your tongue, missy, and don't you give this chap the end of your lip. If she gives you any trouble, Governor, just give her a few slashes of the strap. That's the way to sharpen her mind. Good day, gentlemen. Cheerio, Eliza.
There's the man for your philosophical genius to the first order. Mr. Sales, right, Mr. L. Wallingford, and tell him he's looking for a lecturer to get in touch with Mr. Alfred P. Doolittle, the common dustman for one of the most original moralists in England.
Yes? Yeah, what was he doing here?
Say your vowels.
Run there, my vowels. I knew him before I came.
If you know them, say them.
Yeah.
No, stop. Say A-E-I-O-U.
I-O-U. That's what I said. The same as 3 days and it won't say it no more.
I know it's difficult, Mr. Doolittle, but try to understand.
No use explaining, Pickering. There's a military man you want to understand, and drilling is what she needs. Central Negro shall be coming to you for sympathy.
All right, if you insist. But have a little patience with her again.
Of course. Say A.
Easy as feeling.
Hey!
Aye.
I promise you will say your vows correctly before this day is out, so there'll be no lunch, no dinner, and no chocolates.
And you scream and let you go, that
mainly in the plain.
Didn't I say that?
No, Eliza, you didn't sigh that. You didn't even say that. Eliza, every night before you get into bed, while you used to say your prayers, I want you to repeat to yourself, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain 50 times. You get much further with the Lord if you're not to insult his ears. Now for your H's. Pickering isn't going to be ghastly.
Control yourself, Higgins. Give the girl a chance.
Oh, of course. No one expects her to get it right the first time. Eliza, you see this flame? Every time you say your H properly, the flame will waver. Every time you drop your H, the flame will remain stationary. That's how you know you've done it correctly. In time, your ear will hear the difference. Now, watch carefully. In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Now, in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Now you try.
In Oxford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Oh, no. Have you no ear at all?
Starting with Reuven?
No. We must start from the very beginning. Do this. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Go on.
Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha.
Let me come.
Oh, kind of you to let me come.
No. Kind of you. It's like cup of tea. Say cup of tea.
I'm sorry.
Miles, take a smallest. I do want to wear Mrs. Pierce gets it.
Fred, the strawberry tarts are delightful. Did you try the flying cake?
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
No. Have you no ear at all? Can't you hear the difference? Push your tongue forward until it squeezes against the top of your lower teeth. Now say cup.
Cup.
Now say out.
Out.
Now say cup, up.
Cup, az.
By Jove, that was a glorious meal. Strawberry
I'll thank you, Mrs. Pierce. Eliza, I want you to read this poem and enunciate each word as if the marbles were not in your mouth. With blackest moss, the flower pots were thickly crusted, one and all. Each word clear as a bell.
I say, Higgins, are those pebbles rarely necessary?
Yes, they were necessary for Demosthenes. They are necessary for Eliza to do this. Well, go on, Eliza. I can't understand a word. Not a word. Can you understand a word?
I say, Higgins, perhaps the poem is too difficult for the girl. Why don't you try a simpler one like The Owl and the Pussycat?
I can't hear the girl. What's the matter? Why did you stop?
I swallowed one.
Oh, don't worry. We have plenty more. Mrs. Pierce. Spain stays mainly in the plain.
I'm so tired.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it must be 3 o'clock in the morning. Do be reasonable.
I am always reasonable. Eliza, if I can go on with a blistering headache, you can.
Oh, you're the headache too.
Eliza, I know you're tired. I know your headache. I know your nerves are as raw as meat in a butcher's window. But think of what you're trying to accomplish. Think of what you're dealing with. The majesty and grandeur of the English language, why, it's the greatest possession we have. The noblest sentiments that ever flowed in the heart of men are in its extraordinary, imaginative, and musical mixtures of sound. That's what you've set yourself out to conquer, Eliza. And conquer it you shall. Now, save the game.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
What was that?
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Again.
The rain is mainly in the plain.
try her out in public until she fares.
I was awakened by a dreadful pounding noise. You know what it might have been?
Pounding? I heard no pounding. Pickering, you doing any pounding? No. Mrs. Pearson, this continues. I should see a doctor. I know Pickering won't hit into the races. The races? Yes, my mother's worked at Ascot. You'll consult your mother first, of course. Yes, of course, of course. No, but surprise her. Everyone straight to bed. In the morning we'll buy her a lady's gown. Eliza, continue with your study.
But it's early in the morning.
Better time to study than early in the morning. Pickering, when does one buy a lady's gown? What is the fault? How did you know that? Common knowledge. Well, we mustn't buy anything too flowery. I despise those sorts of gowns with a weird hair and a weird hair.
You've all been working much too hard. I feel the strain is beginning to show. Eliza, I don't care what Mr. Higgins says. You must put down your books and go to bed.
I couldn't go to bed. My hands feel like to try to set it down. Please, I couldn't sleep tonight. Not for all the jewels in the crown. I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night. And still I'm
now, they'll begin to run. Hark, bells ringing, they are springing forward. What a friendly merriment, that's what it is ringing, and it's something great. What a thrilling, absolutely chilling, running on the Ascot opening race. What a thrilling, absolutely chilling, running on the Ascot opening race. And as I was coming up, there was playing Aida that night. And no, they called it Samarang instead. So I saw that's a ragged one. I've never seen Lord of Samarang before. Just a spot with a terrace habit.
Colonel, what about the girl?
Oh, yes. As I was coming out, I met your son Henry, who in turn met Miss Doolittle, who now lives with Henry.
Oh, Mrs. Henry, is it a love affair?
Oh, heavens no. She's a flower girl. He picked her off the coast. Yes, he said to me, Pickering, you see this girl, in 6 months I can make a test of her. I said nonsense. He came right back with, yes, I can. All right, I said, I'll make it you can. And I did. And he is... Excuse me, Mrs. Higgins, I must go better.
The Colonel, do you say that Henry's in your flowers in Covent Garden to Ascot today?
Yes, Mrs. Higgins, that's it. That's it precisely. Jolly good, Mrs. Higgins. Jolly good.
Oh, Charles, you better sit close to the car, and he'll be leaving abruptly.
Oh, damn, I don't know where the devil it could be. Bloody
darling, my nice. Have you seen Pickering?
I saw Colonel Pickering and Henry here. I lived with it. I think everything will come down like Box of Ascot.
Oh, darling, she'll be all right. I taught her how to speak properly, and she has strict orders as to her behavior. She's to stick to 2 subjects, the weather and everybody's health. Sort of fine day and how do you do, and not let herself go on things in general, and help her along. You'll be quite safe.
Say, talk about our health in the middle of a race.
Well, she's got to talk about something.
Henry, you're not even dressed properly.
I changed my shirt.
Where is the girl now?
Being pinned. Some of the clothes didn't quite fit. I told Pickering we should have taken her with us.
Oh, well, you're a pretty pair of babies playing with your live doll. Ah, Mrs. Untitled.
Oh, damn, are all these people here with you?
Higgins, this must be your celebrated son. Sorry to say, my son has no manners. He may be the life and soul of Royal Society Friday, but he's rather trying on more commonplace occasions.
Ah!
Colonel Pickering, you're just in time.
Thank you, Mrs. Higgins. May I introduce Miss Eliza Doolittle?
Oh, my dear Miss Doolittle, how kind of you to let me come. Oh, delighted, my dear. Mrs. Untitled, Miss Doolittle. How do you do? How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do? Very sensitive. How do you do?
How do you do? Miss Doolittle?
Good afternoon, Professor Higgins.
Oh, but first, this is very exciting, Miss Doolittle. I'm so sorry that you're busy.
Will it rain? The rain is plain. Plain. But in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Right?
Smashing.
I do. Bring on fluid influenza, and my whole family is susceptible to it. My aunt died of influenza, so they said. But it's my belief that they done the old woman in. Yes, Lord love you. Why did she die of influenza when she come through it? Diphtheria? Wasn't enough the year before? Fairly blue with it she was. They all thought she was dead. But my father kept ladling gin down her throat. And then she came to so sudden she picked the ball off the spoon. Oh, dear. Now, what for would a woman with that strength in her heart to die of influenza? And what because of a new straw hat that should have come to me? Somebody pitched it. And what I say is them had pitched it done her in.
Done her in, did you say?
Yeah, yes, Dr. Hurry. It's no small talk. It means to kill someone.
Well, Sherry just thinks that you're all killed. Do I not? Then she meant wasn't have killed her for a hat pin little on a hat. It couldn't have been right for your father to pour spirits down her throat like that. That might have killed her. No, not her. Gin was mother's milk to her. Besides, we poured so much of it down his own throat, he knew the good of it.
You mean to say that he drank?
Drank my word, something chronic. What are you sniggering at?
Oh, under small talk. You did it so awfully well.
If I was doing it properly, what were you laughing at? Have I said anything I oughtn't? Not at all, dear. That's a mercy, anyhow.
I don't suppose there's enough time before the next race to place another bet. Come on, dear.
I think I better number 7. I should be so happy if you were taken. You'll enjoy the cover so much more.
Thank you.
His name is Dover.
Dover.
I know this is Bristol Street. Would you tell me what 27 is?
Oh, it's like a blessing.
Thank you. Isn't it a heavenly day?
Yes, sir. Heavenly day
When she mentioned how I answered off the spoon, she completely done me in. And my heart was on a journey to the moon. When she talked about her father and Jerry, I never saw a woman shouting fast. But the moment when she shouted, "Move your blooming ass!"
Miss Doolittle, you shall I say it's
Very honest with him. If she doesn't remember who I am, tell her I'm the chap who's figuring at her.
Yes, sir.
You needn't rush. I was drinking the streets where she lives.
Yes, sir.
If Miss Doolittle suffers any embarrassment whatever, it's on your head alone. I've been begging you to pull off this experiment ever since Ascot. Eliza can do anything. Oh, but suppose she is discovered. Suppose she makes another ghastly mistake. Rubbish figure, there'll be no horses at the ball. But think how agonizing it would be. If anything happens tonight, I don't know what I'll do. I suppose you can always rejoin your regiment. Higgins, this is no time for flippancy. The way you've driven her these last 6 weeks has exceeded all the bounds of common. Higgins, stop pacing up and down. Can't you settle something? Have some porter. Why did you nervous? I'm not nervous. Where is it? On the desk.
The card's here, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Spears. Are you helping Eliza?
Of course, sir.
Suffer indeed. I'll bet the gown doesn't fit. I warned you about those French designers. You should have gone to a good English store where you knew everybody was on our side. No, thank you. Quite enough. No, thank you. Are you so sure she'll retain all you've hammered into her? We shall see. But suppose she doesn't, then I lose my bet. You know what I can't stand about you, Higgins? It's your confounded complacency. At a moment like this, with so much at stake, I find it utterly indecent you don't need to before. What about the girl? You act as if she doesn't matter at all. Oh, rubbish figuring, of course she matters. What do you think I've been doing all these months? What could possibly matter more than to take a human being and change her into another human being by creating a new speech for her? By filling the deepest gulf that separates class from class and soul from soul. She matters immensely.
Sir, Miss Doolittle.
Miss Doolittle, you look beautiful.
Thank you, Colonel.
Don't you think so, Higgins? Not bad. Not bad at all. And when the Prince of Transylvania asked to meet her, and gave his arm to lead her to the throne. Say to him, you did it! You did it! He was ecstatic and so terrible and ecstatic, and I never knew that you did it! All I can say is thank heavens for Zoltan Grandpa. It was there after his old tricks again. There it was, right inside that little line of two little one. And you know what Missy Cruisin was? A Hungarian princess. I'm just glad it's all over and I can go to sleep at night without having to dread tomorrow.
Good night, Mr. Higgins.
Oh, good night, Mrs. Spears. I think I shall go to bed too. Good night, Higgins. It's been a great day. Oh, it has. Good night, Higgins. Oh, Mrs. Pierce. Oh, damn. I never told her that I want coffee in the morning instead of tea. Leave a little note for Eliza, will you? Oh, damn. What the devil have I done with my slippers?
There are your slippers! And there! May you take your slippers and may you never have a day's luck with them.
What on earth? What's the matter? Is anything wrong?
Nothing wrong with you. I've won your bet for you, haven't I? I don't matter, I suppose.
You presumptuous insect! I won it! What on earth did you throw those slippers at me for?
Because I wanted to smash your face in. I could kill you, you selfish brute. Why didn't you leave me where you picked me out of in the gutter? You thank God it's all over so you could throw me back there again, don't you?
Oh, so the creature is nervous after all. Ah, Claude, you cat, how dare you show your temper to me? Sit down and be quiet.
What's to become of me? What's to become of me?
Oh, I know what's to become of you. What does it matter what's to become of you?
You don't care. I know you don't care. You didn't care if I was dead. I'm nothing to you, not so much as them slippers.
Those slippers.
Those slippers. I didn't think it made any difference now.
Oh, now listen to me. All this irritation is purely subjective.
I don't understand. I'm too ignorant.
Oh, nobody's hurting you. Nothing's wrong. You go to bed like a good girl and have a little cry. Say your prayers. I don't make you feel more comfortable.
I heard your prayers. Thank God it's all over.
Well, don't you? Thank God it's all over now. You're free and can do whatever you like.
What am I fit for? What have you left me fit for? Where am I to go? What am I to do? What's to become of me?
Oh, that's what's worrying you, is it? Well, I shouldn't worry about that if I were you. Oh, I suppose you shouldn't have much trouble settling someplace or another, though I hadn't quite realized you were leaving. You might marry, you know, Eliza. You see, not all men are confirmed old bachelors like me and the Colonel. Most men are marrying sort of poor devils. And you're not bad looking. Oh, quite a pleasure to look at times. Not now, of course. You've been crying all day. You look like the very devil himself. But when you're yourself, it's quite all right. You're what I should call attractive. Oh, come, Eliza. Go to bed. And in the morning, look at yourself in the glass and you won't feel so cheap. I dare say my mother could sort you out to some chap or another who would do quite well.
We were above that in Covent Garden.
What do you mean?
I sold flowers. I didn't sell myself. Now that you've been lazy, I'm not going to sell anything else.
Oh, tosh it, Eliza. You didn't insult human relations by being all that cant about buying and selling into it. You needn't marry the poor fellow if you don't want to.
What else am I to do?
Oh, lots of things. What about that old idea of setting up a florist shop? Pickering can help you out. Gives lots of money. Oh, we'll have to pay for all those togs you've been wearing. That's with a higher jewelry. We'll put quite a hole into what you found. Oh, come, you'll be all right. Oh, I was clear off to bed. I'm never sleepy. I was looking for something before. What was it?
Your slippers.
Oh, right, you shied them at me.
And before you go, sir,
Huh?
do my clothes belong to me or to Colonel Pickering?
Colonel Pickering? What use would they be to Colonel Pickering? And you didn't worry about that in the middle of the night.
I want to know what I may take away with me. I don't want to be accused of stealing.
Stealing? You shouldn't have said that, Eliza. That was a wonderful feeling.
I'm sorry, I'm only a common ignorance girl, but in my station one has to be careful. There can't be any feelings between the like of you and the like of me. Now please will you tell me what belongs to me and what doesn't?
You may take the whole damn houseful if you like. Except the jewels they're hired. Will that satisfy you?
And before you go, sir, take this to your room. I don't want to run the risk of it going missing.
Hand it over. These belong to me instead of the jewel. I shall ram them down your ungrateful throat.
you vote for me in Brighton. I don't want it now. Don't you hit me!
Hit you? How dare you accuse me of such a thing? It is you who have hit me. You have wounded me to the heart.
I'm glad. I got a little of my own back anyhow.
You've caused me to lose my temper. Something that rarely ever happens. I prefer to say nothing more. I'm going to bed.
You better leave your own note for Mrs. Pierce about the coffee, for it won't be done by me.
Down, Mrs. Pierce, down the coffee, and down you. And down my own folly for having lavished my hard-earned knowledge and treasured my regard and intimacy on a heartless gutless night.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait. You'll be sorry, but your tears will be too late. You will be the one it's done to, and you'll have no one to run to. Just you wait, Henry Higgins.
Well, good night, Cecil. Time to go out here. All right.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Doolittle, sir. Your patronage is always appreciated here.
Are you more good man?
Oh, yeah.
Take the missus on a trip to Brighton. On me.
Thank you, Mr. Doolittle, sir. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure.
Father?
You see, Harry, the devil has no mercy. Sent her down to spoil me of me misery, he did. The old flesh and blood. Well, I'm miserable, all right, you can tell him that straight.
What are you talking about? Why are you dressed like that?
As if you didn't know. You go back to that Whipple Street devil and you tell him, be gone, Satan! You tell him what he done to me.
What has he done to you?
He's ruined my asshole. Destroyed me happiness. Tied me up and delivered me into the hands of middle-class morality, he did. And tell you dare defend him. Was it, or was it not him that wrote to some American blighter named Wallingford, who was given $5 million to found moral reform societies, and tell them the most original moralist in all of England was one Alfred P. Doolittle, a common dustman.
That sounds like one of his jokes.
Still they call it a joke. Put the lid on me right enough. The bugger went and kicked the bucket and left me £4,000 a year in his bloody well.
Come on, Alfie, in just a couple more hours you have to be in the church.
Church?
Yes, church. Why do you, the deepest cut of all? Why do you think I'm dressed like a bloody pallbearer? You think I do this for fun? Your stepmother wants to marry me. Now they're all respectable, she wants to be respectable too.
If that's the way you feel, why don't you give the money back?
That's the tragedy of it, Eliza. It's easy to say chuck it, but I haven't to give. I'm intimidated. Intimidated, that's what I am, Eliza. In fact, we're all intimidated. As with your precious professor has probably too.
Not my precious professor.
Oh. Send you back, has he? As he chucks me into middle class and they send you back for me to support you? All part of his plan. Well, you double-cross him. Don't you come back to me, don't you take tuppence from me. You stand on your own 2 feet. You're a lady now, and I know you can do it.
Reuven, it's getting up to call for the taxi.
Say, you want to call in Lady Sadie turned off this morning? St. George's, Hanover Square, 10 o'clock. I wouldn't recommend it, but you're welcome.
No, thank you, Dad.
Are you all done here?
Yes, friend. I'm all done here. Good luck, Dad.
You too, kiddo. on to wire that.
There's just a few more hours. That's all the time you've got. A few more hours before they die the
The drinks and crowds all over the lot, and I'm gonna track 'em all down in just a few more hours.
I don't understand. Didn't she say what to send her clothes?
I told you, sir. She took them all with her.
Pickering! What? Here's the confounded thing. Her eyes is bolted. Bolted? Yes, bolted. And Mrs. Pierce had to go without saying a word of it to me. Well, I'm daft. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where anything is. I got coffee this morning instead of tea, and I don't know what appointment I've got.
Eliza would know.
Oh, of course she would know, but damn it, she's gone.
If you didn't think you gentlemen frightened her last night.
You were there, Mrs. Pierce, so we hardly said a word to her. Higgins, did you bully her after I went to bed? No, it was just the other way around. She threw the slippers at me. Didn't give her the slightest provocation. There I was standing there, and bang, the slippers came at my head. And she used the most perfectly awful language. Well, I'm daft. I don't understand it. She was showing every possible consideration. She admitted it herself. Well, I'm daft. Pickering, stop being dashed and do something. What? Oh, the police. What are they there for, in heaven's name?
You can't use Eliza
back. Quite right. Scotland Yard, please. Mrs. Taylor, may I have some coffee, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, dear. Oh, good morning, old chap. Colonel Hugh Pickering here. 27A Winterhall Street. I'm calling to report a missing person. Anything you can do to assist in her recovery will be rightfully appreciated. I'm not without influence, and I'll see to it that you'll appear... Miss Eliza Doolittle. About 21. I should say about 5'4". Her eyes. Brown! Brown. Her hair, well, it's rather neutral and not... Brown! Well, you heard what he said. Brown. Yes, this is her residence. Between 3 and 4 in the morning. No relation at all. Let's just say a good friend. Now, see here, my good man. I'm not at all pleased with the tenor of that question. What the girl does here is our affair. Your affair is to get her back here so she can continue doing it. Oh, thank you. Mrs. Berl, I have an old school chum at the home office. Maybe he can help, or perhaps I should call him.
Good idea.
Whitehall 7244, please. Brewster Budgeon, please. Yes, I'll wait. Boozy! You'll never get who this is. Yes, it is. My God, what a memory. How are you, old fellow? It's so good to hear your voice again. 30 years. It is really. Yes. Oceans of water, yes. A boozy old chap, I'll tell you why I called. There's something rather unpleasant has happened at this camp. Can I come right over and see you? Oh, good. Thank you, Boozy. I'll be right over. Mrs. Pierce, I'm going over to the home office.
Oh, I do hope you find her, Colonel Pickering. Mr. Higgins will miss her.
Mr. Higgins will miss her? Not Mr. Higgins. I'll miss her.
What do you think of it? Without making a single mistake. I just sat there and looked at the words. Just admired you, petted you, told you how splendid you did. Not a word. Was he a fool? Should not have thrown the slippers at him, I should have thrown the fire irons.
Mother!
What is going on? Say where you are, my dear.
Where are you?
Remember, last night, you not only danced with the prince, but behaved like a prince.
Mother, let's down this thing. You.
Good afternoon, Professor Higgins. Are you quite well?
Am
Of course you are. You are never ill. Would you care for some tea?
Don't you dare try to hear me. I taught it to you. Get up and come home and stop acting like a fool. You caused me enough trouble for one morning.
Oh, wonderfully put, Henry. No one could resist such an invitation.
How did this baggage get here in the first place?
Eliza came to see me, and I was delighted to have her. And if you don't start behaving yourself, I should have you thrown out.
You mean I have to put on my Sunday manners for this thing I created out of the squash cabbage in this Covent Garden?
Yes, that's precisely what I mean.
I'll see her down first.
Eliza, how did you ever learn manners with my son around? It was very difficult.
If it hadn't been for Colonel Pickering, I should never have learned how ladies and gentlemen behave. You see, Mrs. Higgins, aside from the things one can pick up, the difference between a lady and a flower girl is not how she behaves, it's how she's treated. I shall always be a flower girl to Mr. Higgins because he always treats me as a flower girl, and always will. But I know that I shall always be a duchess to Colonel Pickering because he always treats me as a duchess, and always will.
Henry, don't grind your teeth.
The vicar is here, madam. Shall I show him into the garden?
The vicar? And the professor? Oh, heavens, no. Tell them I'll meet them in the library. Eliza, if my son begins to throw things, I give you full permission to have him evicted. Oh, and Henry, if I were you, I'd stick to 2 subjects, the weather and your health.
Well, you've had a little of your own back, as you call it. Are you finished and ready to come home? And do you want any more?
You want me back only to pick up your slippers and put up with your tempers and fetch and carry for you.
No, I haven't said I wanted you back at all.
all.
Oh, indeed. Then what are we talking about?
About you, not about me. And I when you come back, I shall treat you as if I've always treated you. I cannot change my nature, and I don't intend to change my manners. My manners are exactly the same as Colonel Pickering.
That's not true. He treats the flower girl as if she were a duchess.
And I treat the Duchess as if she were a flower girl.
I see. Same to everybody.
Just so, don't steal. I the big secret isn't about having good manners or bad manners or any sort of particular manners. It's about having the same sort of manners for all human souls. The question isn't whether I treat you rudely, it's whether you've ever seen me treat anyone else better.
I don't care how you treat me. I don't mind your swearing at me. I shouldn't mind the black eye. I've had one before this. But I won't be passed over.
Then get out of my way, for I won't stop for you. You talk about me as if I were a motor bus.
So you are a motor bus, all bound to go, and no consideration for anybody. But don't think I can't get along without you.
I know you can. I told you you could. You don't suppose that I can get along without you.
Don't try to get around me. You'll have to.
And so I shall, without you or any soul on earth. But I shall miss you, Eliza. I've learned something from your idiocy. I confess that humbly and gratefully.
Well, you have my voice on your gramophone. When you feel lonely without me, you may turn it on. It's got no feelings to hurt.
I can't turn your soul on.
You are a devil, you are! You can twist the heart of a girl as easily as some can twist arms to hurt her. What am I to come back for?
For the fun of it. That's why I took you on in the first place.
And you may throw me out tomorrow if I don't do everything you ask.
And you may leave tomorrow if I don't do everything you ask.
And live with my father?
Yes, or I'll sell flowers, or would you rather marry Pickering?
I would have married you if you asked me. And you're nearer to my age than what he is.
Then he is.
Then he is. You're not my teacher now, and don't forget it. I've always had chaps for not wanting me that way. Beit Hillel writes to me twice and 3 times a day. Sheep and sheep.
How is that it? You want me to be as infatuated with you as he is?
No, that's not the sort of feeling I want from you. I want a little kindness. I know I'm a common ignorant girl and you a book-learned gentleman, but I'm not dirt on your feet. What I done... what I did was not for the dresses and for the taxis. It was because we were pleasant together. And I came... And I came to care about you. Not to want you to make love to me, and not forgetting the difference between us, but more friendly-like.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. And how Colonel Pickering feels. Eliza, you're a fool.
That's not the sort of answer to give me.
Well, that's the best answer you're going to get until you stop acting like a complete idiot. Eliza, if you're going to be a lady, you need to stop feeling neglected if the men you know don't spend half the time sniveling over you and the other half of the time giving you black eyes. You find me cold, unfeeling, selfish, do you? Very well, be off with you to the sort of men you like. Marry some sentimental hog or other with a big pair of lips to kiss you with and a thick pair of boots to kick you with. You can't appreciate what you've got, you better find what you can appreciate.
I can't talk to you. You turn everything against me. I'm always in the wrong. But don't think you have me under your feet to be talked down and trampled upon. I'll marry Freddie, I will. As soon as I'm able to support him.
Marry Freddie, that poor boy who couldn't get a job as an errand boy even if he tried. Woman, don't you understand? I made your consort for a king.
Freddie loves me. That makes him king enough for me. Besides, he wasn't brought up to work as I was. I know. I'll go and be a teacher.
What will you teach in heaven's name?
Phonetics, what you taught me.
Ha, ha, ha.
I'll offer myself as an assistant to that brilliant Hungarian.
What? That humbug, that impostor, that toadying ignoramus, teaching my discoveries, my methods. Woman, you take one step in that direction and I'll wring your neck, do you hear me?
Bring away! I knew you'd strike me one day. Aha! That's what you Henry Higgins in hand. Now I don't care for your bullying and your big talk.
Eliza, you're magnificent. 5 minutes ago, you were a millstone around my neck. Now you're a tower of strength. I like you this way.
Goodbye, Professor Higgins. I shall not be seeing you again.
Mother! Mother!
What is it, Henry? What has happened?
Eliza's gone.
Well, of course, what did you expect?
What am I to do?
Do it out, I suppose.
And so I shall.
Bravo, Eliza.
house. The downs are second nature to me now. Like breathing out, breathing in. I was serenely independent and content before we met. Surely I could always be that way again, and yet I've grown accustomed to the looks, accustomed to the voice, accustomed to Marry Freddie? Marry Freddie? What an infantile idea! What a heartless, brainless, wicked thing to do! But she'll regret it. She'll regret it. It'll be done before they even take the vow. Poor Liza. How simply frightful. How humiliating. How delightful. How poignant it will be on that inevitable night when she hammers on my door in tears and rags. When I take her back, throw her to the wolves. When I show her kindness, or the treatment she deserves. When I take her back, throw the baggage out. Marry Freddie, ha! So you still hear her say, good morning, every day. Her joys, her woes, her highs, her lows, second nature to me now. Like breathing out and breathing in. I'm so grateful she's a woman, and so easy to forget. Surely like a habit one can always break, yet I've grown accustomed to the trick. Something in the air, accustomed to her face.
A lady in the flower shop, instead of selling flowers at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. But they won't take me unless I can talk more genteel. He said he could teach me, although you're all young, ready to pay.